Okay, so yesterday we got mostly done with our lesson 5.1, so I'm just going to do a little refresher today before you start on your assignment since I am gone. We're going to start off by completing that chart that we started, starting off with the less than symbol, which means fewer than or less than. So those are two words that you could see. I'm going to apologize for my handwriting now. It's a little messy with how I'm doing this. Another symbol we have is greater than, which means obviously greater than. Ooh, that's a bad E. Or you could also see the word more than. So the number's bigger. With this sign, the number is smaller with that sign up there. Now we also will have less than or equal to. So it could have those words, less than or equal to. Oh, sorry, you got a lesson really close apparently. No more than is also another option. No more than. Ugh. And finally, you could also say at most. So those are the words you're going to want to look for in word problems in order to determine what the symbol is. And that would be for the less than or equal to sign. And we also then have the greater than or equal to sign, which means obviously greater than or equal to, or equal to. Sorry, my handwriting's getting really, really bad. Other words to look for with this symbol would be at least. So it has to be at least this number, if not more. Or no less than. So be really careful with the less than and no less than because they definitely do not mean the same thing. And that also goes for the more than and no more than. Be careful to know whether or not there's a no up in front of that phrase. Okay, moving on, we're going to do some problems once again just to get a little refresher reminder on what to do. But it's mostly just like what we've been doing solving for our variables. So in this case of x minus 3 is greater than 7. We want to get x all alone, so we're going to add 3. What you do to one side, you do to the other. X is going to come down. Our 3's cancel out. We bring down our greater than sign. And 7 plus 3 is 10. So our answer there is x is greater than 10. If I wanted to graph that on a number line, I would have the number 10. If x is greater than but not equal to, we put an open circle. You only close it if it's on the dot. It can be exactly that number. So you have an open circle, and then x is greater than. So it couldn't be 9 because 9 isn't greater than 10. It could be 11, and it could be everything going that direction. On to the next one over here. 8r plus 6 is less than 9r. So we have two variables, but don't worry, our variables, once we balance them out in combined length terms, will not be greater than 1 for today's lesson. So what I told you yesterday was that you want to always get your symbols on the left-hand side of your equation. So this 8r plus 6 is less than 9r. I want to move the 9r out of there. So it needs to go bye-bye on the right side. What you do to one side, you do to the other. 8r minus 9r gets us a negative 1r, or you can just write that as negative r. Our plus 6 will come down. Our greater than will stay. And this turned to 0. Now we need the r all by itself, so I'm going to subtract 6. What you do to one side, you do to the other. Our negative r will stay. Our 6's cancel out. Our less than sign comes down. And 0 minus 6 is negative 6. Now, negative r is not what we're looking for. We're looking for just a straight up r. So what we do is we flip the symbols. And when you flip the symbols, you flip every single symbol in the problem. So negative r will become r. Our less than sign will turn into a greater than sign because it is flipping. And our 6, negative 6, will turn into positive 6. So there we have r is greater than 6. If we want to graph that on the number line, we have our 6. It's a greater than sign, so it's an open point. And if r is greater than 6, it can be 7, so it's going this way. And there we go. Not the most beautiful thing that I've ever drawn in the world, but it gets the point across. Here we have some word problems, and I know we only did one yesterday, so we're going to try to go over this again today with, I guess, me talking at you. So it says Sydney has $65 to spend at the mall. She bought a t-shirt for $18 and a belt for $14. If she wants a pair of jeans, how much can she spend? So I'm just going to put, I know she's got 65 bucks. And the amount that she spent was already 18 and 14. So we want to know how much she can spend on a pair of jeans. So when I do this, I'm going to go, the money that she has left would be M. We don't know what that money is, but we know that our M plus 18, because she already spent that, plus 14 that she also already spent, will add up to be somewhere in this range of 65. Could she spend $64? Yes. Could she spend $67? No, because she doesn't have that money. So we know that this number will need to be less than 65. Could she spend exactly $65? Yeah, she actually has $65 that she can spend. So this number could also be equal to 65. She could spend anywhere from $0 up to $65 because that's how much she has. It doesn't mean she needs to spend it. So there, I just wrote my word problem. It takes some thinking, it takes some time. It's not going to come immediately and quickly to you. So do not freak out. Do not get frustrated. Do not say you don't know what you're doing just because it's too much work for you. Take a deep breath, take your time, and think through it. You have a brain, use it. If we wanted to solve this, we would subtract 14 and then subtract 18 and figure out what our M is less than or equal to, which in this case would be 33. So here's our word problem, and here's our solution. Writing it in a solution set, I would have my squiggly bracket M, the line, what our solution was, and close our squiggly bracket. On the homework, you'll want to put every single answer that you do in as a solution set in the set builder notation. This one I would want you to pause and try to solve yourself and then compare with how I solve it. So you can see where you're going wrong as you're solving and what you will need to do to fix it. That way you are more prepared when it comes to these word problems on your homework. So go ahead and pause and try this out and then come back and play when you've gotten it all solved. So here it says a thrill ride swings passengers back and forth a little higher each time up to 137 feet. That sounds important, up to 137 feet. Suppose the height of the swing after 30 seconds is 45 feet. How much higher will the ride swing? So this 30 seconds is useless information. It's just a number there to throw us off. So if it can go up to 135 feet. Over here, we can see the word at most. That also makes me think up to. So I'm going to add up to my list. Because at most, up to, no more than, it can go up to this number, but it can't get any higher. So the less than or equal to sign also goes with the phrase up to. So I know that it's up to 137. Next we have the height of the swing after 30 seconds is 45 feet. So it's already at 45 feet. And we want to know how much higher the ride will swing. So we're going to throw in plus S, the swing. So there we go. First things first, we've got our expression for what this word problem is trying to figure out. Then we need to put we need to find the solution and put it into set builder notation. To get S all alone, we subtract 45. What you do to one side, you do to the other, and we end up with that canceling out. S comes down, less than or equals to comes down. 137 minus 45 is 92. So the swing could still swing 92 feet higher. In order to put that in our set builder notation, we need to have a curly bracket, our variable, a line, and then closing our curly bracket. So for any value of S has to be less than or equal to 92 in this case. Check and see where you went wrong if you did. Otherwise, continue on and you can go ahead and do your assignment. And so please refer back to both of your packets as examples while you're completing this assignment. Do your best. You can shoot me an email. Hopefully I'll be able to respond in a timely manner. Probably not during your class period, but sometime during the day. Otherwise, come into school early tomorrow, or we'll find a time to talk it through. Good luck and let me know how you do.